No, I actually thought of a story that I think might be relevant. This is about regret and risk. And this is actually, it doesn't sting anymore, but this did sting for a while for me. But now I've kind of come to terms with it. You know Marilyn Manson? No, I'm joking. So I was I think I was in college, interning at a stupid finance company.
Hey, it's not
stupid. Called it was like a BlackRock competitor.
Yeah, it was called like Fin Company,
Yeah,
FinCom or
Fin-
something.
It's like Finn, it was Enron. I don't know if I got the name.
Yeah, everything's Fin something.
And I was doing that, and at the same time, I was running a satire website, like The Onion.
Nice.
Except it was on based on my college mascot, which is the Mustang. So
Cal Poly?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Wow.
My mom went there.
Small world.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's epic.
Wow. That's cute.
First try. Now that was a risk.
Yeah.
This is like a country club. My
Cal
mom went there.
Poly. Yeah.
It's a state school, for the record. It's a state school. It's the only California state school that doesn't call itself a state school. That's how you know there's an ego there. There's an insecurity.
Nice.
I digress.
Insecure colleges are the best.
I love it. Oh,
you
wow.
get the best degrees.
Cornell.
Are they insecure?
They're an Ivy League, but
I'm like really stupid. I don't know.
Oh,
I thought Cornell's like.
let me put you.
Actually, no. Didn't Andy from The Office go to Cornell?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, fuck
a lot of
that.
Office references.
A lot of Office
Wow.
references.
So, to make a long story short, I started a satire website called The Insane Mustang, which I love. I still love the name, The Insane Mustang.
Is it live?
That is.
No, I bought it's gone. It's gone. I sent this is a kind of a crazy story. I was like, I took a risk. I was 19 or 20, and I added the CEO of FunnyOrDie on LinkedIn. He accepted the invitation.
Nice.
Wow.
I sent him The Insane Mustang, and he got back to me, and he said, "There's some good stuff in here. Let's have a phone call."
Get out.
So
Whoa.
I set up a phone call with the then CEO of FunnyOrDie. I was a 19-year-old kid. I set it up during the internship work hours. I bailed on a call that I was supposed to take for the finance internship. Took this call with the CEO of FunnyOrDie, and at the end of the call, it went well. And he said, "Well, look, Sean, we're looking for interns. What are you doing in the spring?"
Let's go, baby.
And I said, "I already have something lined up in finance." No. Click.
What?
Yes, that's what I did.
Oh.
Because I was torn between Wall Street and comedy. And I look back on that moment, and that stung for years.
Holy shit. The fight between Wall Street and Main Street never ends.
And I emailed them back, and I didn't realize, didn't know what FunnyOrDie was.
Right,
I didn't know
right.
it was Will Ferrell and fucking Between Two Ferns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I look back at that, and then I was like, Wall Street's full of psychopaths. I want to go into comedy.
It's always comedy, but
The fun
And-
psychopaths,
right.
yeah.
Right. And anyway,
to be honest, the fun psychopaths are on Wall Street.
I know. And I was zigzagging, and but for years after that, I was like, fuck, I can't believe I pissed that away.
Yeah.
It was right there.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, and then I think about where would I be now had I taken the internship? Who would I have met?
Mm-hmm.
What would I have been involved in? You know what I mean?
But dude, again,
So that
you don't know though, because I think the ultimate
we all have
risk,
stories like that,
and I think
for
the
sure.
ultimate risk is you betting on yourself and trying to be a performer. Like, as in, FunnyOrDie could have worked out, but you could have met people and they could have said, "You don't want to be a comic. You want to be a writer.
Right.
You're a writer. You're not a comic." Then you may not have ever. Then you could be like those guys who everybody hates, who they write for late night and they make $140K a year writing
Right.
jokes, and they're like, "I'm unhappy."
and they do spots at the cellar.
Right, and then they're like, "But this isn't enough."
Yeah.
So it's interesting how that works. It's like, what do you still regret it?
Not anymore. But for years,
Does FunnyOrDie still make stuff? They
went bankrupt.
They went bankrupt?
Yeah.
Well, it's because they didn't have you.
No, I would have bankrupted them sooner. But no, also that company's retarded.
Yeah.
They raised $30 million for a comedy website.
Why'd they do fun
I
seed
didn't know they raised that
funding
much
for
money.
I didn't know it was that serious.
No, they raised tens of millions of dollars and they were basically doing like indie YouTube content, and they raised tens of millions of dollars.
Right, like they had to get
They have
millions
no
of
reason-
dollars to just do like what Kyle Mooney was doing like
Yeah.
years earlier.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
Good
On his
neighbor
own, yeah.
stuff. Like,
But that's something. But now I look back on it, and I'm like, that's a risk. Well, I took a risk to hit the guy up, which I'm proud of. And like now, I used to regret it, but now I'm like, well, I was young, and at the time, you can't know the future,
yeah.
and that's why I don't regret anything anymore.
Mhm.
Yet, we'll see if
Yet.
that changes. But like
For now.
at least right now, I'm like, well, looking back on that, like I was a person who I literally was on the fence. If I'm being honest with myself, I was leaning towards finance at the time. So I made the choice that I thought was right for me at the time. And that's all you can do in the present.
Yeah, and that's all
Or
you
else
can do.
you're going to get fucked and be like, oh, well.
And then you'll be stagnant. You'll never do anything. Like,
Exactly,
you'll
yeah.
never. Yeah, and I think that's like the ultimate. That's the balance you got to strike, because we all know, I'm sure, people who take a lot of risks,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it does not always go well. But I'm sure we also know people who are like hermits and don't do anything. And you know, it every time I see, you know, every like year I get older, I meet, or not meet, but I talk to my friends like that, like maybe don't do as much shit, and like people, you know, that breeds a lot of frustration too, you know, and
You don't want to be that guy.
taking risks and failing is certainly frustrating, but life is so weird and poetic where there is an odd fulfillment, even if you fail at a risk. You know what I mean? Like, even when you, like even as simple as, like, when you do a new joke and you're scared, even if it doesn't go super well, you're still like, oh, I'm fucking glad I did it, though. Like, I'm glad I did that new joke. You know what I mean? Or you're like,
Yeah.
I'm glad I, like, versus, like, just getting off stage and going, I fucking still haven't done it. Like, fuck.
It's that